Most people who are not getting better at guitar are practicing. That is the problem. They are sitting down every day, putting in the time, doing what they are supposed to do, and they are not improving. And they think the solution is more practice. It is not more practice. It is different practice. Here is what most people do. They sit down, they play through the things they can already play, they feel good about it, they put the guitar down. That is not practice. That is performing for yourself in your bedroom. It feels productive because you're touching the instrument and making sounds that are recognizable as music, but you are not doing the thing that actually builds ability, which is spending time in the part that does not work yet. The only practice that makes you better is the practice that is uncomfortable while you are doing it, the thing you keep avoiding because it exposes where you actually are, the chord change that falls apart every time, the transition you always fudge and hope nobody notices. That is the only place improvement lives. Everything else is just maintenance. The reason people avoid this is obvious. Practicing your weaknesses means spending your entire practice session being bad at something, on purpose, repeatedly, when you could just play the songs you like and feel like a person who plays guitar. But there's a cost to that choice, and the cost is that a year from now, you will be in the same place you are right now, wondering why you are not getting better. 10 minutes of real practice beats an hour of playing through what you already know, every time, without exception. Everyone who plays guitar hits a plateau. You're improving, and then one day you just stop. Weeks go by and you cannot hear any difference between where you are now and where you were a month ago. And most people's instinct is to practice more, try harder, push through. That instinct is wrong. A plateau is not a sign that you have stopped improving. It is a sign that your brain is consolidating what it already learned before it can take on anything new. You are not stuck, you are digesting. The problem is that digesting feels exactly like being stuck from the inside. So people panic and start throwing things at the wall trying to break through. The worst thing you can do on a plateau is change everything. New songs, new techniques, new YouTube rabbit hole, new approach. That scatters the consolidation process and extends the plateau. The best thing you can do is almost nothing. Keep showing up, play what you have been playing, trust that the work you already did is still working even though you cannot feel it, and then one week it will just be gone. You will play something and realize it's cleaner than it was, and you won't be able to point to the day it changed because there wasn't one. The plateau is not the enemy. Panicking on the plateau is the enemy. Most people quit during plateaus because they mistake consolidation for failure. They were about to break through and they stopped 2 weeks early. There is a version of this topic where I tell you that talent doesn't exist and it's all hard work and anyone can be great if they just put in the hours. That is not what I'm going to say, because it is not completely true. Some people do pick things up faster. Some people have a natural feel for rhythm or pitch or the physical mechanics of the instrument that takes others much longer to develop. That is real. But here's what is also real. The gap that talent creates in the first year is almost entirely closed by the third year if you keep going. The fast starters slow down, the slow starters catch up, and after that point, the only thing that separates good players from great ones is what they did with the time after the talent advantage ran out. What actually makes someone good at guitar in the long run is not talent, and it is not even practice in the generic sense. It's specificity. The players who get genuinely good are the ones who know exactly what they are working on at any given time and why. They are not just playing. They are solving a specific problem and then moving to the next specific problem. Their practice has a direction. Most people's practice is just time spent near a guitar hoping something happens. Good players also fail faster. They try things they cannot do yet on purpose. They play with people better than them before they feel ready. They put themselves in situations where their current ability is not enough, and then they figure it out. Comfort is the ceiling. The people operating above your level are not more gifted, they just spent more time being uncomfortable than you did. There is a moment that happens to almost every guitarist who sticks with it long enough. It's not a technique clicking or a chord finally ringing clean. It's subtler than that. You're playing something you have played before, and you stop thinking about your hands. The mechanics go somewhere else, and you're just inside the music for a second, present in a way you haven't been before. It lasts maybe 3 seconds, and then you notice it and it goes away. But that moment is important because it's the first time the instrument stops being an obstacle between you and the music. Up until that point, every note you play has your brain in the middle of it somewhere. Finger placement, timing, whether that last chord rang clean. The instrument is always between you and the thing you're trying to make, and then suddenly it's not, just for a second, and you realize what everyone who plays music seriously has been talking about this whole time. You can't force that moment. You can't practice your way directly to it. It arrives somewhere in the middle of doing the work, and you can't know in advance when it's coming. The only thing you can do is keep showing up until it does. Most people quit before it arrives, not because they're less talented or less dedicated, just because they stopped before the moment that would have made all the previous time make sense. The first year is just getting to the place where that moment is possible. Everything after that is something else entirely.